In the name of Allah, the most compassionate, the most merciful, my dear friends and fellows in Pakistan and abroad, we people are almost each one of us, almost each one of us is carrying tensions, a burden of tensions, a baggage of tensions on our heads, on our minds. Almost each and every one of us, almost each and every one of us. Now, a question is that will you like this burden to be removed from your head? An instant reply will be that yes, of course, I do want this burden of tensions, troubles to be removed from my head, from my mind. Now, how to do that? It will be done through a spiritual experience. It will be done through a spiritual experience. What is this spiritual experience, by the way? We are going to talk about that. We are going to talk about this spiritual experience today, which will be able to remove the burden of tensions, troubles, frustrations out of our mind, away from mind. We will be offloading of the burden of tensions through a spiritual experience. Now, to be able to do that, we must have to remove the sectarianism out of our mind, at least for some of the time. Those people who are having sectarianism in their mind, religious sectarian prejudices, biases in their minds, and their mind is dominated by these prejudices and biases, these people will never be able to undergo this spiritual experience. Rather, they are not going to accept it at all. They are not going to understand it at all. So we must have to remove these prejudices and biases from our mind, at least for a little bit of the time, so that we could be able to understand it, we could be able to experience it. And once you do experience it, after that, if the desired results does not appear, if those tensions and troubles are not removed from your mind, then you can stop doing this thing, stop this practice at all. There is a Tablighi Jamaat, although it's not a name which they have made, desired, labeled. It is done by the people who look upon them, the people who look upon them. My dear friends, people who are walking, going with the Tabligh Jamaat, they will be able to endorse my opinion that as long as we are on the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, those tensions, troubles does not remain upon our mind at all. Those tensions and troubles does not remain upon our mind at all as long as we are on the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So that is not without a spiritual experience at all. If those tensions and troubles and upsets and this thing and that thing and all the trouble go out of our mind, at least for some of the time, as long as we are with those people, as long as we are in the Jamaat, these tensions does not remain upon our mind at all, and it is only done by spiritual experience and no other way. Now look, there are people who are going with them for 3 days, for 1 week, for 10 days, for 40 days, for 4 months, for 7 months, for a year. Are they foolish by the way? Do they get money out of it? They don't get any money out of it. They don't get any money out of it. Rather, they make financial sacrifices and other sacrifices at the same time. What are the financial sacrifices, by the way? The income gets reduced usually once they are not at their workplace. The other sacrifice is that once they are away, they start spending money upon themselves. Bus fares and cooking, majorly the two of these. Dear friends, financial sacrifice is there, and there are certain other sacrifices as well. They are away from their families. It is a sacrifice. They are unable to enjoy the comforts of their home. That's another sacrifice. People don't respect them much. Some of the people disrespect them. That's another sacrifice. Although some of these people are very well off financially, they are serving on very important posts, but once they are with the tabligh, the general public look upon them like they are maybe people without any sort of work, and maybe these people are not so respectable. Dear friends, I think I think that we should experience it, because this is a spiritual experience. We should try to remove this burden from our mind, at least for some of the time, at least for 3 days. Do not align yourself with those people, with that particular sect. I am not suggesting you at all. I am not suggesting you this thing at all. And if at all you don't undergo this spiritual experience, if at all you don't undergo this spiritual experience, you have every right to disconnect with those people. Experiment it at the cost of 3 days only. Believe me, you will be enjoying this 3 days at all. You will enjoy it a lot. And this experience will remain memorable one throughout your life, even if you abandon that. Thank you.